Tonight in Studio Q, we take a look behind the theatrical curtain as this week, Nine Minds Theatre presents an encore season of Arisha Hirath's successful play, Angels with Dirty Faces. Originally staged in 2005, Angels tells the story of 6 students at boys' school, Chiltern Grammar, each dealing with the intense weight of adolescence in very different ways.
Jake! Hey, Jake Winton.
Happy Gallagher.
Hey, welcome to Chiltern, mate.
Sorry you got stuck hosting me.
Ah, no sweat. How's your morning been?
Assembly was interesting. Gentlemen, the Chiltern Creed.
Yeah, you know, it's honour, tradition, excellence, the grammar wanking call. Hey, didn't you go to Griffin in Sydney? It couldn't have been too different up there.
Suppose not.
Why'd you leave?
I didn't have a choice. Dad wanted to be back in Melbourne.
Hey, your brother went here, right?
Yeah, he did.
God, he's a Chiltern legend, your brother.
I know.
Gallagher! You're your dickhead, eh?
I told you babysitting the new bloke. It's like a toss-up.
Oh, fuck, mate.
Sorry, I didn't see you there.
Yeah, good one, Alex Winton. Ignore him, mate.
And we're now here with the producer of the new run of Angels with Dirty Faces, Daniel Goodfellow. Daniel, how are you going? And welcome to Studio Q.
Thank you very much. I'm very well.
That's good to hear.
It's been a busy week. We're sort of 3 days into the theatre, so now's kind of the time when everyone's pulling their hair out and cast are going crazy. Yeah, not that I've got any to pull out, but...
Wow. Now, you're awful. Stop it. Now, you were, in fact, one of the pivotal brains behind Nine Minds, the theatre company. Why 9 minds? Why not 6 minds or 23 minds or something like that?
Well, it's funny you should ask. The reason we said 9 minds is because there was actually at one point when we said, you know what, let's do this. Let's create a theatre company that's all about new Australian work. Mm-hmm. There were 9 people around that table at that time.
Makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And we kind of liked it because it had that whole reference to cats having 9 lives, and we thought maybe we could get away with things a few more times than other theatre companies do, which
Cat of 9 tails, flogging yourself to death with ideas. Yeah,
sure, yeah, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's where it came from.
And you worked on it with another community luminary, didn't you? Arisha Hirath.
Absolutely. Community luminary. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, she's got her finger in a lot of pies, that girl. Hasn't she?
I can't comment on that kind of thing.
No. Yeah. Wouldn't want you to. How did that all come together?
Her and I, she was producing a play years ago now. Well, not that long ago. It was probably 3 years ago. And I acted in it, funnily enough. And it was kind of at the end of that play, which was frankly quite dreadful, and it was in a kitten club, and you know, it sort of went up and did all right. It was part of Midsummer. Yeah, 3 years ago. That we both said, you know what, let's actually kind of do this properly, and let's start a theatre company. And so it was from that point forward. And then she sort of became the writer.
Wow.
And she's obviously written Angels, and I directed that piece, and the rest is kind of history.
So 9 Minds was really about getting issues out into the open, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. We sort of felt we'd been really watching the way that particularly new plays and new pieces of theatre were developed in Australia, and it seemed to us, and maybe not to everybody, but it seemed to us that in the desire to kind of create this really artistically significant, groundbreaking work, people were forgetting about the power of theatre to really address issues.
Right.
And to say, you know, this is the Australia that we're living in now, and let's actually present it and comment on it using the theatrical medium. And so that's really been our approach. And for that reason, I guess what we're doing, funnily enough, is quite different from anybody else. There are not a lot of companies doing that.
We've got the star of the show, the star of Angel and 9 Minds, Hagan Matthews. How are you going, Hagan?
Good, thanks. I'm just one of the stars. I mean, there's like 6 mains, I'd have to say.
What have you done so far in your career? You've done a bit of amateur theatre so far?
Well, so far I've just done pretty much all amateur stuff with Victorian Youth Theatre, which is just like a little drama school at, I don't know, they've just got venues all around Melbourne. I've done a few shows at La Mama Theatre in Carlton. But yeah, I mean, this is probably my big break, you know, breaking into the sort of arts centre part of the industry.
So your character, tell us about, you're playing Jake, is that right?
Yep.
Tell us about him.
Well, Jake is 17, so he's just starting year 11 at this school, Chiltern Grammar, which is a private school in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And he's gay, and he's come down from Sydney, where he went to a private school up there. And when he came out about being gay, he got hassled by. Oh, he didn't come out. He got sort of found with another student at the boys' school. Yeah, and he got hassled, and he got bashed up in Sydney. Right. So his parents have sent him down to Melbourne to try and get away from that. Start over again for BCE.
Yeah.
So how long were you there for?
10 years.
10 years? Fuck, must have been hard leaving.
Yeah.
I met Zach co-mate through Aaron once. He's a good guy.
Heard that.
And Aaron said he's been a Griffin since prep.
Right.
Jesus. Mate, as exciting as this conversation is, Jake, the sports centre. Later, dickhead.
I think there's this whole stigma. I mean, obviously, there's this whole stigma around homosexuality that it's this, that it's extraordinary and totally not cool. And it's like, man, so I'm just trying to portray Jake as just. I mean, there's nothing out of the ordinary about him. It's simple as that.
And that's, in a way, what is out of the ordinary as a character, that he is not out of the ordinary, because that he's not, because there's so many stereotypes around, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly, and I totally wanted to avoid any stereotyping at all, because it would just, I felt like that would kill everything that would be part of what the play's trying to say, Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I think a lot of members of our community get a bit tired of, the same thing being dredged up, those same sort of characters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ideally, I'd want gay people to come to the show and then afterwards say, I felt like that was a very positive and realistic portrayal of what it's like, Yeah. I mean, for people, I mean, I know that statistically more people come out after high school. Just I don't know, universities perhaps, or just post high school is a much more open environment.
It's more supportive at university because of queer societies and what have you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally.
Did you have any gay friends or anything to base your research on?
A really good friend of mine at uni's gay, and so I talked to him a lot about that. I'm involved pretty heavily in the art stuff at university, and there's a lot of gay people involved in that, so I've been talking to them.
Not that we're talking stereotypes or anything.
No. No, I'm just saying.
I'm joking.
There's a lot of people there, and I went along to Midsummer Festival, was selling tickets at the Also Foundations. Yep. I didn't actually sell any tickets personally. I got there a bit late, but it was.
You don't have to do that. You're doing the work on stage.
Yeah, right.
Selling tickets.
Yeah, read some of their literature. Like they have a handbook about coming out and stuff like that, and just really trying to. I don't know, get an idea of what it's like, because you hear about it, but it's. I mean, for me, not being gay, it's not like I have any first-hand experience.
Sure.
Yeah.
What sort of actor are you? Are you? The old hackneyed term method actor, but or whatever the modern equivalent is, Do you take the part home with you, or can you switch off?
Oh yeah, I can switch off. I mean, you're always thinking about it, But I think there's this good saying. I don't know who said it, so I'm probably just ripping him off. Obviously,
just claim it as your own.
Yeah, but he said, if you feel it and the audience feels it, that's great. If the audience feels it, you don't feel it, that's good. And if you feel it and the audience doesn't feel it, it's crap. So, so it's like you've just, just trying to, I don't know, just try and get into it as much as you can, commit to everything that you do. I mean, I suppose, I don't know if that's method acting, but it's not really, like you get out of character when you go home, but it's just enjoying it, that's the best way to do it.
We now got the director of Angels here, Morgan Dowsett. Morgan, welcome to Studio Q.
Thank you.
Now, your producer Daniel, he directed it the first time out.
Yep.
Has it been weird having the first director looking over your shoulder at all? Or?
No, you know what? They've been extremely good that way. They've completely opened. They've given me complete and utter freedom to look at the text and interpret it in my own way.
Great.
And what was really cool is them sitting there and really nutting it out, being able to intellectualize certain choices, but really allowing me to go ahead and reinvent it.
Now, you sound pretty Aussie, but in fact you've had an interesting career and provenance
Yeah.
as a director and a person. You actually weren't born in Oz, were you?
No, I was born in Geneva, Switzerland. Both my parents are from Australia, but lived there for 20 years, did all my schooling over there.
So was your dad an ambassador or something?
No, he was a futures trader in petroleum and grain.
Fair enough.
My passion really took me to the United States. I had the opportunity to go to the US. Went to a school in Ohio called Oberlin College, then moved to New York University, finished my degree there at Tisch, ended up staying in the States for about 7 years, and then 4.5 years moved to Australia, see what my culture's all about, and try to give it a chance. And really, this is what this opportunity is too, is about rediscovering my culture just as much, and working with the independent theatres and strong independent theatres to try and create new works, try to advance the culture, and try to also help them, take them to New York, and really, expose that culture a lot more. Hopefully around the world.
And when you did come back, did you like the culture that you found?
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
And what stood out?
The support for the arts is actually very strong in this country. I think a lot of people are not completely aware of that. Working in New York, certainly there are philanthropists around, but there's not such a strong hand. The money is harder to get. To look at a company like Nine Mines, who has the opportunity to start from scratch and then go to the Fairfax within a couple of years, is absolutely incredible.
In New York, the ladder's that much higher, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that would be the equivalent of someone starting off a company and trying to get to the Lincoln Center in a couple of years, which is really completely unheard of,
Of course, yeah. Well, you're back over there soon, aren't you, with this very play?
Yeah.
Good luck for opening night, and
Cheers.
Good luck with the New York season.
Yeah.
And if you've got anything exciting in the future, come and see us again, hopefully.
Absolutely.
No worries. Thank you.
Cheers.
I can't believe Zachy didn't say anything interesting about Winton in Sydney.
What? Oh, yeah. Nah, we hardly talked. Finals and all. Pretty much just confirmed what Jake said. Didn't really know him because Jake was pretty quiet at Griffin, Typical circus.
Jakey is a loser wherever he goes.
What are you going to guess from you? He hasn't done anything to you.
We decided he comes to school, mate. Taking a look at him? Dickhead's not welcome.
You don't think someone's a dickhead just by looking at him?
I can tell you're a dickhead just by looking at you.
Can't just leave the bloke alone. Like, you know what? Forget it.
Angels with Dirty Faces is on at the Fairfax Studio, Victorian Arts Centre, from Wednesday the 21st of February to Sunday the 25th of February. Bookings through ticketmaster.com.au. And we have 10 double passes to give away, courtesy of Nine Mines Theatre, to see Angels with Dirty Faces for the 8 p.m. performance on Saturday the 24th of February. Just be one of the first 10 callers on 9517-0125. That's 9517-0125. Clearly leave us your name and contact number. If you're a winner, we will call you back on Friday the 23rd of February with further details. Tickets will be available for pickup with ID at the Arts Centre box office.
Hello and welcome back to Q Focus. I'm Mark and joined once again by Doug Pollard from B News. Thanks for coming in. And another new face, Collette Corr from Joy. Welcome, Collette.
I'm glad to be here.
And tonight we're talking about the Tasmanian Liberals election scandal. Doug?
Yeah, just to give everybody a bit of background on this one. We've all been reading a lot about the exclusive brethren in the Age over the recent months. They put out a few anti-gay and anti-trans ads in the Victorian election, but before that there were some that ran in the Tasmanian election. Initially, no one knew where they came from, but they proved to have been placed by individual members of the exclusive brethren. But the story doesn't stop there. Martine Delaney of the Tasmanian Gay and Lesbian Rights Group decided to complain about these ads to the Anti-Discrimination Tribunal. Initially the complaint was thrown out, but on appeal the tribunal then began investigating where these ads really came from, and the big surprise there was that The ad agency that placed the ads on behalf of the exclusive brethren was the same ad agency used by the Tasmanian Liberal Party. And when they delved into it further, they found the Tasmanian Liberal Party had been invoiced for the exclusive brethren ads as well as for their own ads. So it looks as if, and at this moment nothing is actually proven, but it looks like pretty solid evidence, the Tasmanian Liberals were actually placing those ads but hiding behind the exclusive brethren. So what does that mean, Collette?
Well, if it's proven that they did this, it's clearly a case of premeditation. They know that there's going to be an uproar. They know that they're going to be offending people. They know that perhaps they're not even in tune with the majority views of the population. That we can't decide here because A, we're not in Tasmania, and B, it's very difficult to prove those things anyway. But definitely they're up to no good.
And why would they want to hide, though? I mean, why not, if they're anti-gay, if they're anti-Greens, and these ads were basically aimed at the Greens, why not actually run a Liberal Party ad? Why go through this charade?
Well, this is the same thing that John Howard perhaps did with Pauline Hanson. He handled her very well, but not in a direct manner, because he knew that maybe parts of his constituents actually agreed with what she was saying. So here you have the Liberal Party. They don't want to be seen as having extreme views in any way, because they want to be able to gather in all the swinging voters. If they go out and say something like this, say something offensive, and maybe there's people that they don't believe in same-sex marriage either, but they don't want to be attacking it so virulently, because there are ways to oppose same-sex marriage without it getting personal.
It sounds like you're saying that the Tasmanian Liberals are trying to be politically correct. That doesn't sound like any Liberals I know.
I just think they're managing it. It's always about what's going to win them votes, get them in office and win power. And it's quite an extreme thing to do, to attack a policy of, approving same-sex marriage as socially destructive. I mean, that's a bit out of kilter with the way people view things these days. It's out of date. It's an out-of-date opinion, but it's going to stir up opinion. It's going to win the exclusive brethren. I wonder how many people are actually qualifying to join their ranks. That's another question. And it's always going to be good, because people hate campaigns often work.
I don't know. I mean, Tasmania used to have a reputation as being the least liberal state in Australia. They were one of the last, I think, to decriminalise homosexuality.
The last.
Rodney Croome even had to go as far as the UN, I think, to make speeches and things to get that to happen. But according to him, at any rate, the whole thing has turned around now, and Tasmania is one of the most small L liberal, shall we say, places within Australia. So maybe that's why the big L Liberal Party didn't want to be seen to be waving the bigot flag.
I think I grew up in Tasmania, and
Okay.
I was born in Melbourne, so there's no danger that I'm going to have Huntington syndrome or anything. It's very nice.
All right, thanks.
But
Glad we cleared that up.
I think for me, particularly when I was a little girl, I didn't realise this. I went back to Tasmania a few years ago, and it's just this fascinating mix of extreme conservatism and way out hippies banging drums and smearing themselves with body paint. So you have this incredibly beautiful wilderness, and then you have all these rednecks riding around with blue heelers in their trucks. So it's just a fascinating blend. And there's a lot of people that would be anti-same-sex marriage, and there's also a lot of people who would be pro-same-sex marriage. I just think you're going to get extremes there, more extremes than I've seen in any other part of Australia, possibly than the Northern Territory.
And perhaps in the current political climate, because of the change in the laws, they don't feel comfortable about expressing that prejudice openly.
I wouldn't. I mean, they've got the strongest anti-discrimination laws in Australia. Freedom of speech is not a part of the Australian Constitution, and you'd hope that the Liberal Party would know when they're breaking the law, even if it's a civil law. So yeah, they handled it quite smoothly. It just blew up in their faces. I think maybe they underestimated the depth of the opposition to what they were advocating.
Well, certainly the exclusive brethren themselves don't like a great deal of publicity about their activities. I mean, initially they tried to make out that they weren't behind these ads at all. They just said, oh no, some of our members individually placed these ads out of concern, but it wasn't the church's doing. Then the next thing is, yes, rather suspicious that all the people who do this are members of the church. Then you find there's a company set up, that's the address that's given on all these adverts, and that turns out to be a business owned by another member of the exclusive brethren. And then you find out that they're sending the invoices for the ads to the Liberal Party. I mean,
It's just lame. I mean, if you're going to make attacks of this nature, which where they're attacking a minority group, but they're also personal, put a face to it. Just put your cards on the table. Don't hide behind organisations. Or, of course, this is always going to happen. I think this is going to be happening. These sorts of things are going to be happening with all sorts of issues in 20 years' time. This is the way people play political games across the world, but it doesn't mean that we have to like it. So, yeah, be honest. If you're going to criticise, put a face to your name. Very nice.
And on that note, we'll leave you once again. Thanks, Doug, for coming on. And Collette, another new face. Thanks for being on. And if you have any comments that you'd like to make, you can also email us at feedback@bentv.org.au. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
This is Dolly Diamond for Studio Q, and welcome to the 13th annual Movies Under the Stars, right here at the Fairfield Amphitheatre. It is a gorgeous evening, brought to you, of course, by the Queer Film Festival and the City of Yarra, all in aid of the Queer Film Festival in March. It promises to be a wonderful evening. We've got the right weather, we've got some lovely people, and also we're going to sit back and relax on some stone cladding whilst we watch a film under the name of Balls. So stick around, because it promises to be a wonderful evening, and we'll catch up with you later. It's time to meet some of the lovely people that are having a picnic here at Movies Under the Stars. Hello to you.
Hello to you.
It's first time here at Movies Under the Stars.
Yes, it is, and we love it here. It's a beautiful night. We've got all our props. We're very excited.
German film, I believe, but titled Balls. You looking forward to that?
Yeah, I enjoy balls.
Yes, it's got the look about it.
Yes.
And you've got yourself a nice little picnic here.
Yes, there's homemade frittata and there's cupcakes. Made from Matt over here, made some cupcakes.
Oh, you're the cupcake maker.
That's right, one does what one can.
Yes. And you, first time as well?
Yes, I'm a virgin too.
I'm joined now by Rowena Doo, the organiser of Movies Under the Stars. Hello to you, Rowena.
Hello, Dolly. Lovely to see you again. Oh, looking fabulous.
Thank you very much. You're looking forward to a wonderful night, I would imagine.
Oh, look, the weather's fantastic. We've got a great crowd here. We had a fabulous crowd the last couple of nights, so it's a really wonderful event. It's wonderful. Everyone comes out here with hampers. It's a lovely festive occasion, and then we get to see a great film under the stars.
And this is a fundraiser, I believe, for the Melbourne Queer Film Festival.
Yes, it's one of our main fundraisers leading up to the festival in March. So a lot of the money we raise here tonight goes to help us put on the fabulous 10-day event that everyone sees in March.
Lots of new films, I would imagine. What can we expect?
Oh, look, some great highlights this year. Opening night film is Infamous. It's the Capote buyout with Sigourney Weaver and Gwyneth Paltrow and Sandra Bullock. It's got a stellar cast. The closing night film is the Itty Bitty Titty Committee, which was by Jamie Babbitt. And we've actually got the director coming out, so that's fantastic. And you might know Jamie from what was that film? No, I'm Not a Cheerleader, or what's it? Yes, I'm a cheerleader. No, the cheerleader movie. Anyway, the lesbian cheerleader movie. Lisa Daniels going to kill me for that. Yeah, so that's some great highlights. We've got some great documentaries happening as well. There's one great one on meth. We've got some amazing films. Another gay movie, which is a great parody and comedy, which I think a lot of people would have heard about on the on the web, the internet. And just some amazing films this year. Lisa has done an amazing job curating it. In fact, we've actually expanded. We've got extra sessions because there's just so many great films this year. I just recommend you get in early when the tickets go on sale on the 22nd of February, and don't miss out because there's going to be a lot of sellouts this year.
They do sell out quickly, don't they?
Yeah, particularly the big name events, the closing night, the opening night, all the gay films, and
it's just great to get involved and support a Melbourne festival like that, isn't it?
It's great for everyone to come together. It's great to see queer films by queer people. In a queer environment. It's something like we all have a sort of a queer sensibility that we can relate to in relation to the film. So
so don't sit at home whinging about what you can't see. Get out and see what you can see.
And we need to support them because a lot of these films actually don't get released because there's just not enough of a market here in Australia for them to be released onto DVDs. So often this is the only time you're going to get to see these films. So, you know, you've got to go out and support them. So it makes it easier for us next year to get even better titles.
Exactly right. This is the 13th Movies Under the Stars. What about the Queer Film Festival, Melbourne Festival? How long has that been going?
This will be our 17th year. So, yeah, and it keeps growing and getting better each year. Like I said, we've got so many more sessions this year and some amazing films. So, you know, it keeps getting better because we've got wonderful support in the community and we're very, very lucky that, you know, people come and support us year after year and, you know, help us keep putting on this festival.
It is luck, of course, but it's also when it's run well, it's done well. So thank you very much to Rowena Doo and support the Melbourne Queer Film Festival in March. Thank you, Rowena.
Thanks, Dolly. Thanks, Ben TV too.
Indeedy. So, with the movie just about to start, it's a fond farewell for the 13th Movies Under the Stars, brought to you, of course, by the Melbourne Queer Film Festival and the City of Yarra. We'll see you, hopefully, at the Melbourne Queer Film Festival in March, but from Dolly Diamond, it's a goodbye from me on Studio Q.